Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we are going to be looking at this pretty dense book all about justice, and it's called The Just Equilibrium, The Deterrent Law. And it's written by Dr. Khalid Walid.
Okay.
So have you heard of this book before?
I have heard of it, and I'm ready to dive in. I think this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, me too. I think that this is going to be pretty fascinating because it touches on kind of a lot of different topics. So we have obviously the legal and philosophical side of justice.
Right.
But then we also have theology and history.
Oh, yeah.
And I think even a little bit of cosmic mystery.
Definitely some cosmic stuff in there.
Thrown in there. So it should be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Dr. Walid really doesn't shy away from the big questions, does he?
No, he does not.
He's going all in.
Yeah, he really goes for it. And I think we're just going to jump right into it because one of the first things that he brings up that I found super fascinating is this idea of altquist.
Oh, okay.
So you know that word altquist?
Yeah.
You know about that.
I do. Okay.
Cool. So just for our listeners who might not know, altquist is the Arabic word for justice.
That's right.
And it's a concept that appears, throughout the Quran. And it's really central to Islamic thought.
Absolutely essential to, Islamic legal and ethical traditions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Dr. Walid takes this concept of altquist.
Okay.
And he kind of turns it on its head a little bit because he describes it as this latent force of energy.
Okay.
Okay. So he's not just talking about an abstract principle.
Right.
He's talking about actual energy that's driving the universe towards balance.
Wow. Like a force almost.
Yeah. Like a literal force. And what I found even more intriguing is that he says this force is present within each of us.
Interesting.
Urging us toward actions that create a more just world.
So it's kind of like we're all connected to this universal energy field of justice.
Yes.
And our actions can either tap into it or disrupt it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of in Star Wars, how they talk about the Force.
Right.
There's the light side and the dark side.
Right.
And our actions can either, contribute to one or the other.
Yeah. I like that analogy. It's like a cosmic tug of war between justice and injustice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Dr. Walid uses a verse from the Quran to illustrate this idea. And it's 49.9.
Okay.
And this verse emphasizes the importance of resolving conflicts fairly and striving for peace, essentially laying the groundwork for a just society.
Right. So establishing justice on a social level within the community?
Yes. And what I found fascinating is that he sees this as part of a larger evolutionary process.
Oh, interesting.
So it's as humanity gains knowledge and understanding, our sense of justice becomes more refined. It's not like a static concept.
It's evolving.
Yeah, it's constantly adapting and growing. And it made me think about how has my own personal sense of what's fair and just changed over time.
Right? What experiences in your life have shifted your perspective on justice?
Exactly. I know for me when I was younger,
yeah,
my sense of justice was very black and white.
Very clear cut.
Yes. Someone did something wrong, they deserve to be punished.
Right.
But as I've gotten older and learned more about the complexities of the world and human behavior, I've realized that it's not always that simple.
Right. There are so many factors that contribute to people's actions.
Yes. And that our legal systems are often, imperfect and can perpetuate injustice rather than prevent it.
Absolutely. So your understanding of justice has become more nuanced over time.
Yes, definitely. And I think that's what Dr. Walid is getting at here, that our understanding of justice is constantly evolving as we evolve as a species.
Right. So it's an ongoing process of discovery and refinement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that process is driven by this force of altquist that's pushing us towards a more just and balanced world.
That's a powerful way to look at it.
Yeah, no, it's really kind of shifted my perspective a little bit. So building on this idea of justice as a force, Dr. Walid argues that it also acts as a preemptive deterrent.
A preemptive deterrent. That's interesting.
Yeah, so he points to a couple of verses in the Quran to explain this.
Okay.
He uses 3.18 and 3.24.
Okay.
And basically what he's saying is that true justice is all about maintaining this delicate balance in the universe.
So it's about keeping things in harmony.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when that balance is disrupted, that's when we see injustice and suffering.
Right. Like a ripple effect of negativity.
Exactly. But what's fascinating here is that he sees justice as a proactive force.
Okay.
Something that can prevent wrongdoing before it even occurs.
Oh, so it's not just about punishing bad behavior after the fact.
Right.
It's about creating a system that discourages people from doing wrong in the first place.
Exactly. He's saying that when societies embrace justice and make it like a central part of their culture, it creates this ripple effect that deters people from committing acts that would disrupt that balance.
I see. So it's like justice as a preventative measure?
Exactly. It's not just about punishment, it's about prevention.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. And it made me think about, how we approach crime prevention in our own society.
Yeah.
Like, what if instead of just focusing on punishment,
right,
we focus more on creating a culture of justice that would discourage people from committing crimes in the first place?
Right. So it's like shifting from a reactive approach to a proactive one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most powerful implications of Dr. Waleed's argument. It's like it makes you rethink the whole purpose of the legal system.
Right. It's not just about retribution. It's about creating a more just and harmonious society.
Exactly. And speaking of harmony, that brings us to one of the most mind-blowing sections of the book.
Okay, I'm ready.
Dr. Waleed's analysis of Quran 55.1 to 9.
This is where he connects human justice to cosmic balance.
That's a good. Yeah. So this passage in the Quran, it's all about like the balance and order that's present in the creation of the heavens and the earth. And Dr. Waleed draws a direct parallel between that cosmic balance and our human systems of justice.
So he's saying that the same principles that govern the universe, like balance, harmony, order, should also guide our pursuit of justice on Earth.
Exactly. It's as if our human laws are just like this small reflection of a much grander universal order.
That's amazing.
I know. And it makes you wonder, like, is there some kind of higher intelligence behind it all, orchestrating this cosmic dance of justice?
Yeah, like, is there a grand plan that we're all a part of?
Right. And are we, like, playing our roles in that plan, whether we realize it or not?
It's a pretty profound thought, isn't it?
It is. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got justice as a force, justice evolving, and justice as cosmic balance. What else does Dr. Waleed have for us?
Well, this is where things start to get a little bit controversial.
Okay, I was wondering when we were going to get to that.
Yeah, because, Dr. Waleed, he's not afraid to share his opinions.
He definitely is not afraid of his mind.
Yeah. And some of his views might ruffle a few feathers.
Right. But I think it's important to hear them out and, engage with his arguments critically.
Absolutely. And it's always interesting to consider different perspectives, even if we don't agree with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's got you feeling controversial today?
Well, Dr. Waleed delves into some pretty strong opinions about the children of Israel.
Okay.
He even issues warnings about trusting them.
Now, this is something that we want to be very careful about.
Yes.
Because we're not here to endorse or condemn any particular group of people.
Absolutely. We're simply presenting Dr. Waleed's perspective.
Exactly. And it's up to our listeners to make up their own minds about what they think.
Right, to do their own research and come to their own conclusions.
Exactly. But for the sake of understanding Dr. Waleed's argument, let's take a look at what he's saying here.
Okay.
So he references a couple of verses from the Quran. The first one is 9.1.
Okay.
And the second one is 17.60.
And that second one is the one that mentions the cursed tree, right?
Yes. And Dr. Waleed interprets that verse as referring to a cursed lineage rather than a literal tree.
A cursed lineage. That's an interesting take on that verse.
Yeah, he seems to see them as a force that disrupts the just equilibrium that we were talking about earlier.
So he's placing them on the side of injustice in that cosmic tug of war.
Yes. And he ties them to the worship of wealth and specifically mentions the treasury in Petra.
Oh, wow. So he's making a connection between them and material wealth.
Yes. It's as if he's saying their pursuit of wealth and power has thrown the world off balance.
And that this has prevented the establishment of true justice.
Exactly. And this all ties into his view of Jerusalem, which is a very interesting one.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So he calls Jerusalem the heart and radiant core of the earth.
The heart of the earth. That's powerful.
I know. And he actually asserts that Prophet Muhammad was born in Petra, not Mecca.
Wait, hold on. Really? He's saying Prophet Muhammad was born in Petra.
Yes, and that he was destined to conquer Jerusalem and restore it to its rightful place.
Wow, okay, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, it's definitely a different take on history.
That's for sure.
Than what's commonly taught.
Yeah, most people learn that Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca and that he conquered Mecca, not Jerusalem.
Right. But Dr. Waleed has a different perspective, and it's based on his interpretation of certain historical and religious texts.
So he's drawing on alternative sources to support his claims.
Exactly. And it's definitely making me want to do some more research on this.
Me too. It's always fascinating to explore these different interpretations of history.
Yeah, I know. And it just shows you that there's always more to learn and that history is often written by the victors.
Exactly. So whose voices are we not hearing? Whose perspectives are being silenced or marginalized?
Right. And those are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves as we're exploring these different historical narratives.
Absolutely.
But before we get too lost in the history books, Dr. Waleed throws us another curveball.
Oh boy, what is it?
He presents this cryptic equation, quist plus noon plus teen.
Quist plus noon plus teen. Okay, now that sounds like something out of a Dan Brown novel.
I know, right? It's like a secret code or something.
So what's the meaning behind this equation?
Well, Dr. Waleed believes that it reveals a hidden name for Jerusalem.
A hidden name for Jerusalem.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me more.
He decodes this equation as the land of knowledge and justice.
The land of knowledge and justice. Wow, that's beautiful.
I know, right? And it really speaks to this central idea that runs through his entire book.
Which is?
That true justice is deeply intertwined with knowledge and understanding.
So it's not just about blindly following laws or adhering to tradition.
Right.
It's about seeking truth and understanding the deeper principles that govern our lives in the universe.
Exactly. It's like in order to establish that just equilibrium that he talks about, we need to be actively engaged in a process of learning and self-discovery.
So it's not a passive state, it's an active pursuit.
Exactly. It's a dynamic journey. And Dr. Waleed seems to be suggesting that Jerusalem, with its rich history and spiritual significance,
holds a key to unlocking that deeper understanding.
It's like a city that embodies both knowledge and justice.
Exactly. And it's a place where people from all different backgrounds and faiths have come together for centuries.
Right. It's a crossroads of cultures and ideas.
Yes. And so maybe there's something about that energy of Jerusalem that can help us to achieve that just equilibrium that Dr. Waleed is talking about.
It's a fascinating thought, isn't it?
It is. It's really making me want to learn more about the history and symbolism of Jerusalem.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that's a good place to leave it for now.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
And we've only just scratched the surface of Dr. Waleed's book.
There's still so much more to explore.
Yes. So we'll be back soon with part 2, where we'll delve deeper into some of his more controversial views.
Okay.
And explore the implications of his ideas for our own lives.
Sounds good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. See you then. All right, so we're back.
Back for more.
And ready to kind of continue where we left off.
With Dr. Waleed's The Just Equilibrium.
And it's a wild ride, isn't it?
It is wild.
So many thought-provoking ideas.
It is. And I'm glad that, we left off on that kind of like cliffhanger.
Yeah, the cliffhanger.
Because it leads really nicely into kind of the next section that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And this is where things, I think, get even more controversial.
More controversial.
Yeah. We were talking about the children of Israel and kind of his perspective.
His unique perspective on that.
Right. And how, he ties them to kind of this worship of wealth.
Right, right. And he specifically mentioned that treasury at Petra.
Yes, the treasury at Petra.
And I think that was a very deliberate choice.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's such a potent symbol of opulence and material wealth.
Exactly. And it kind of, it just plays into this whole narrative that he's building.
Right, that they've kind of been led astray by this pursuit of material gain.
Yes, and that pursuit has taken them away from, the path of justice.
Right, so it's like they've tipped the scales away from that just equilibrium.
Exactly, and it's interesting because he connects this back to Jerusalem, which is a very central, theme throughout the book.
Yeah, he calls Jerusalem the heart of the earth.
He does.
Which is a very evocative image.
It is. And he even goes so far as to say that Prophet Muhammad was born in Petra.
In Petra, not Mecca.
Not Mecca, yeah.
That's a bold claim.
It is a bold claim. And he believes that Prophet Muhammad was destined to conquer Jerusalem.
Not Mecca.
Not Mecca, yeah.
Okay. So he's really presenting a different version of history here.
He is a different interpretation of events.
Yeah.
And I think, it's important to acknowledge that this is not the mainstream view.
Right. This isn't what you're going to find in most history books.
Right. But it's Dr. Waleed's perspective. And he's drawing on his own research and his own interpretation of certain historical and religion texts.
So it's an alternative narrative that he's presenting.
Exactly. And whether you agree with it or not, I think it's fascinating to consider.
Right, because it challenges us to think critically about the stories that we've been told.
Exactly, and to question, where those stories come from and who's telling them.
Absolutely, because history is always written from a certain perspective.
It is, and often it's the perspective of the victors.
Right, the people in power.
So it's important to always be aware of those biases.
Definitely.
And to seek out alternative perspectives whenever possible.
So Dr. Waleed is basically saying that Jerusalem was and should be the central point of spiritual and energetic significance for the whole planet.
Yes, and that it's been kind of like usurped. We're taken away from its rightful place in the world.
And that this has contributed to this imbalance that we're seeing.
Yeah, so he's making this connection between the physical location of Jerusalem and this energetic or spiritual balance.
Right, so it's like there's a connection between the physical and the metaphysical.
Yes, and that's a theme that we see throughout the book. This kind of interplay between the material world and the spiritual realm.
Interesting.
And how they're constantly influencing each other. So it's not just about abstract ideas. It's about how those ideas manifest in the real world.
And how they impact our lives.
Exactly. And that brings us back to that cryptic equation that we were talking about before the break.
Oh yeah, quist plus noon plus teen.
Yes, quist plus noon plus teen, which Dr. Waleed believes reveals a hidden name for Jerusalem.
The land of knowledge and justice.
Yes. And it's such a powerful name because it really encapsulates this whole idea that true justice is inseparable from knowledge.
Right. So it's not just about blindly following the law by doing what you're told.
Yes, it's about understanding the why behind the law.
The deeper meaning.
Yes, and that requires knowledge.
It does.
It requires seeking out information and understanding the principles that underlie a just society.
So it's like justice is an active pursuit.
Yes.
Not just a passive acceptance.
Exactly. And it's something that we have to constantly strive for, both individually and collectively.
So it's like a lifelong journey.
It is.
Of learning and growth.
And it's a journey that Dr. Waleed believes should lead us to Jerusalem.
To the land of knowledge and justice.
Yes, both literally and metaphorically.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all of these pieces fit together now.
Yeah, it's like he's weaving this intricate tapestry of ideas and connections.
And it all kind of culminates in this vision of Jerusalem as this central point.
Exactly.
Of spiritual and energetic significance.
And I think that's what makes his work so compelling, is it challenges us to think about justice in a whole new way.
Yeah. To see it as this dynamic force that's constantly shaping and reshaping our world.
And it makes you realize that we all have a role to play in that process.
In establishing that just equilibrium.
Exactly. So the question is, what role will you play?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And I think that's something that we'll explore further in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. All right. So here we are.
Back again.
Back again for the final part.
The final part of our deep dive.
Of our deep dive into the just equilibrium.
I feel like we've been through a lot.
I know, it's dense.
It's a dense book, but so interesting.
It's dense, but it's so rich. Every time I reread a passage, I feel like I'm picking up on something new.
I know, me too.
So I think what I want to focus on for this last part is bringing it all together.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we've talked about all these kind of abstract ideas about justice as this force Alquist.
Right.
We've talked about Jerusalem. We've talked about
the children of Israel.
The children of Israel. We've talked about knowledge.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. But what does it all mean for us?
Right. How do we apply this to our own lives?
Exactly. How do we take these ideas and actually make them...
Right. Make them real.
Real. Yeah. Make them practical.
Practical.
Because... it's one thing to talk about these concepts in this kind of theoretical way. Heady, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to actually live them out.
To embody them.
Embody them, yes.
Yeah.
So I think for me, what really stands out is this idea that Dr. Waleed keeps coming back to about personal responsibility.
Okay, so it's not just about systems and institutions.
Right, it's about what we do as individuals.
Yeah.
It's about the choices that we make every single day.
Yeah, how do we align ourselves with this force of Alquist?
Exactly, and he says that Alquist is present within each of us.
Right, so that's not something outside of us.
It's not something that we have to go searching for.
Yeah.
It's already there.
It's within.
It's within.
Yeah.
And so the question is, how do we tap into it?
Right, how do we cultivate it?
How do we cultivate it? Yes.
And I think for me, one of the most important ways to do that is through knowledge.
Okay, so knowledge is key.
Knowledge is key, yeah, because like we were talking about earlier, true justice is inseparable from understanding. Right. It's not just about blindly following the rules.
Right.
It's about understanding the why behind those rules.
Yeah, and that requires us to be active learners.
Yeah.
To be curious.
To question.
Dig
deeper.
Dig deeper, yes.
Yeah.
And to constantly be expanding our knowledge and our understanding.
So it's like a lifelong process.
It is a lifelong process.
Yeah.
And it's a process that I think can lead us closer to that. Just equilibrium.
Yeah, because the more we understand, the more we're able to make choices that are aligned with that universal force.
Exactly. And it's not just about, like, book knowledge either.
Right. It's about lived experience, too.
It's about going out into the world and experiencing things firsthand.
And learning from those experiences. And then bringing those lessons back.
Yes.
And integrating them into our understanding of justice.
Exactly. And I think that's what Dr. Walid is ultimately calling us to do, to become active participants.
Yeah.
In the process of creating a more just and balanced world.
So it's not enough to just sit back and wait for someone else to fix things.
Right. We have to take responsibility.
We have to be the change.
We have to be the change, yes.
Yeah.
And that can start with something as simple as...
like a small act of kindness.
A small act of kindness, yeah.
Yeah.
Or speaking up when we see injustice happening.
Or educating ourselves.
Yeah.
On the issues that matter.
Exactly. Because every little bit helps.
It does. It all adds up.
It all adds up.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really empowering message.
It is.
Because it means that we all have the power to make a difference.
No matter how small.
No matter how small. Yes. And it's like Dr. Walid says, those small actions, they create ripple effects.
They do.
That can spread out and touch countless lives.
Yeah. And those ripples, they can eventually become waves.
Waves of change.
Waves of change, exactly.
That can transform the world.
And I think that's a beautiful thought to leave our listeners with.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the just equilibrium, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been listening along with us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this journey.
It's been a truly thought-provoking experience.
It has, and I hope it's inspired you to think about justice in new ways.
And to maybe even take some action.
Yeah, even if it's just a small action.
Yes.
To make the world a little bit more just and balanced.
And remember that just equilibrium is within reach. It's something that we can create together.
Yeah.
So until next time, keep diving deep and keep striving for that. Just equilibrium.
See you next time.